It was March 13th when we first closed the doors.
Normally in that 2-year period, we'd be looking at over 400 shows, from 400 shows to virtually nothing.
We all rode the same roller coaster. We thought it was going to be a long 2 weeks, so we decided to do a couple things in between, and that's when we really started streaming some concerts.
People just saying, come on, you guys, you can do it, you can keep going. It really reminded us of the importance of getting through it because we make a really important contribution to the lives of people.
It wasn't anything that was going to help us survive entirely, so we started doing letter writing campaigns to our municipal, provincial, and federal levels of government.
We're competitors, obviously, but at a time when we were one of the hardest hit industries, we knew that we had to galvanize our efforts in order to have a bigger voice.
We were very lucky enough to be applicable to a couple of different factor grants. One was an emergency relief in the initial days, which pretty much brought tears to our eyes. We felt at that point that we were heard and validated.
Factor was still doing everything they had to do for other sectors on a day-to-day basis. And then suddenly there's this tsunami of additional need.
It was extremely helpful to have the Factor grant in order to do the programming and pay artists, and it really kind of helped cushion a little bit of the blow that could have been with all of these hurdles that were being thrown at us.
Without Factor, we would not have survived the pandemic, period, full stop.
We knew that that grant wasn't going to solve all problems, but it was going to buy us some time. We could continue the fight.
The first show, when we came back after the long period of being closed, I stood at the back of the room and I actually cried because I was watching the crowd, the band, the smiles on people's faces.
We are still very much recovering, and it's not just financially. So we aren't seeing the touring coming back in full force like what we had seen pre-pandemic.
The intrinsic value of being in a room together and experiencing musicians is just something that kind of keeps our blood flowing. So it's about mental health. It's about being able to connect.
Because everybody does realize that this is something that we all have to collectively build back together. Musicians, artists, cultural workers, everybody that is still here today have proven to be some of the most resilient people maybe in any industry.